I want to share a story with you guys. It's actually a story about sharing, and I don't know if you should actually try this at home. It is just a story. So my husband Rand and I are very open people, and we both share a lot online. We each have blogs. He writes about his work. I write about cupcakes and travel. And I never thought twice about the stuff we shared until this summer. That's when I found out I had a brain tumor, and it would require surgery to see if it was cancerous. So Rand, true to form, told all of his coworkers what was going on. But he didn't check with me first. So I was a little bit homicidal, or maybe a lot, and I thought he had shared a story that wasn't his to share. I mean, it was my tumor. I grew it. But my anger subsided when I realized Rand wasn't trying to steal my story. He was just sharing his own. See, the bad things that happen to us, they don't just happen to us. They happen to everyone who cares about us, too. That's why we react not just when someone says, I have a brain tumor, but we react when someone says, my wife has a brain tumor, or my little sister, or I don't know, my favorite blogger ever. So I decided something. If people cared, they had a right to know what was going on. The majority of people in my life found out about my tumor through a blog post that went up the day before my surgery. That's when I introduced them all to Steve, which is what I named my tumor. And the response was great. People sent dozens upon dozens of cupcakes to my home. They left positive comments on the blog. They sent us emails. But best of all, I could now talk about what was happening. I could tweet about it. And just that act made me feel better. When I went into surgery the next day, I wasn't even that nervous. And by the way, the surgery went great. It turned out to be a pilocytic astrocytoma. It's not cancerous, and it's rarely fatal. So awesome, right? End of story. One small problem. See, I was kind of a mess after my surgery. I couldn't stay awake for more than a few hours. I had trouble focusing on anything. I had survivor's guilt. I was not doing so hot. Don't get me wrong, the people in my life were there for me. My friend Mike won a drag beauty pageant in my honor. My mom came over and helped me wash my hair. People brought over food. But in spite of all of that support, I still felt alone. And I didn't think I could talk about any of it. I thought I'd come off as whiny or ungrateful for all the help that they had given me. So I just shut up about it. You know, I pretended everything was fine. I went back to writing about cupcakes and travel, and I figured nobody wanted to hear about the staples in my head or my steroid rage, right? But the weird thing was, some people did want to know, and they had started emailing me. See, a lot of them had tumors themselves, and they were going through the same thing. They really did want to know what the aftermath of surgery was like. This kind of took me by surprise. It sounds obvious, but I hadn't realized that when I had shared the news with my friends and family, I'd shared it with everyone, including all of these people who I didn't know. I'd inadvertently become a part of their story. They now cared, so I figured they had a right to know. I wrote another post about the aftermath of my surgery, and I included all of those gory details that I hadn't wanted to share, the stuff that wasn't that pretty to think about or that pretty to even look at. Nobody replied that I was being whiny. No one said I was being ungrateful. If anything, they seemed happy that I shared, and they started sharing their stories with me. One woman told me about how she had decided to name her tumor Lou. Good name. Another woman said that it's not the first surgery that'll get you, it's the third one. And that really got to me, and it put things in perspective. All of a sudden, I didn't feel like I was alone in this. Heck, my friends and family now knew what was going on too, and they were supportive as well. Like I said, I don't intend for any of this to be advice. I don't necessarily know that you should try this at home. I just wanted to share the story with you because sometimes I've found that that's enough. So thanks.